Green.
You're on studio mode.
Okay, there I am. Can you see me? Can you hear me? No, you can't. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello out there. This is Lewis Schaffer. Lewis Schaffer, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I'm in another day of really bad mood. I've been in a bad mood for like weeks now. Would you say I've been in a bad mood for weeks now? Would you say, Columbus?
Yeah, you're in a bad mood.
I'm in a bad mood. Anyway, so thank you for coming. It actually makes me feel a lot better. We've got some things we're going to talk about. We got some things we're not going to talk about. We're going to, what did I want to check? I wanted to check something. I'm wearing a blue shirt because I look better in blue. I think I was going to wear a gray shirt, but no. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Lorna, Joe, Judel, Simon, all the old names. We've got a new name here, which is, where did that go? Did he change his name? Or did he sign out? Top Chat. This is Top Chat, live chat. Let's look in live chat. You can't see what live chat is. Claire, of course. Marianne. Shanks. Hey, Shanks. Hey, all. All right. Well, basically, this is day 40. I've done 40 days of this. Maybe it's too much. We can talk about that. Maybe it's not enough. But the next step is coming. The next step is coming. All right. It was red yesterday, Judels. It wasn't orange, but it's kind of like a light orange. I don't know where I got it from. I think I got it from, I got the shirt from Lidl. So I paid full price from Lidl. Adam Hudson is here and Alan Williams is here. And that's what I was looking for. We have 922 subscribers to Lewis Schaffer. So we're approaching 1,000. So I want to thank you for this. Because this is where the money is going to come from. This is where Lewis Schaffer is going to come from this. Am I right? We got 18 people watching now. Do you like the way I started the thing? Started the program, which is 10 minutes early. I listed as 10 minutes. These are like minor changes. I do not understand what I'm doing. I see that Nick Dixon has a live stream and he's like all prepared and stuff because that's Nick Dixon. But I mean, it's not even Nick Dixon because Nick Dixon is a bit of a mess too. I wouldn't say a mess. He's not a mess. He's he feels. He's a feeling, caring person. And I couldn't watch his podcast because it's better than this. I don't even know why I care, but I do care. I don't care. 40 is a landmark, a biblical event. Yeah, 40 days in the wilderness. It's been 40 days. I've done this every single day. Hopefully, there's something that will be here that's salvageable for the future. The producer is in the room. He's not listening to me, but he's in the room. He's not working today. I was going to say, thank God he's not working too. Okay. But, so we've got good news. So Lynn Carson has a new granddaughter after 2 sons and 3 grandsons. I'm in shock. Congratulations on having, it's a miracle. It's a miracle for people to have grandkids. It's a miracle for people to have kids. I can understand why people don't want to have kids anymore. I understand that. Maybe we should turn on the light. Does it need a light? I'm not sure. Is that too bright? That could be too bright. Let me fix the lighting. I'm fixing the lighting. There we go. So congratulations to Lynn Carson for having a kid. So that's like really good news. We're having grandkids. That's what we need. English, British, Scottish, Welsh grandkids. I was just reading today that Yvette Cooper is wants to pass a new law for individual terrorism. As if planning killing people is not a crime. It's already a crime. Why do they need to have an individual terrorist thing? Because they want to get English people, probably. They want to get English people. You don't need a new law in this country. This the British people invented laws. You invented laws. There's no need to have that. And today is the 56th anniversary of men landing on the moon. And that's good news. Americans landing on the moon. And America is a colony of Britain, so it's British people. Yvette Cooper is thick, says Claire C. It's not whether she's sick, because she has the support of her government, Yvette Cooper. They only have laws, Lewis, because the lawyer is in charge. That's all he knows. Yeah, he says we can't do anything because we don't have a law, an actual law for it. That's what like people landing in our south coast, or people landing in the country. We need a new law that stops people specifically from getting on little boats and land. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But thank you very much for coming in here. We did our show last night, which we could discuss whether that was all right, whether that was worth listening to, without saying bad things about other people, because that's one of the things I've got to do. I've got to call about next week. I've got to do that. Thank you for turning that off, Columbus. The fan. It's not really that hot here. I've got to call. I'm not gonna say who I've got to call. I'm being too public. People are gonna hate me. Thank you, Lynn Carson, for listening. Does anyone own the earth? We own this country. That's we own. There's no ownership, but we own it. What are you saying? Does anyone own the moon? I think they signed a thing. I think America gave it away. That's what I think happened. I think they signed some sort of thing that no one owns it, and that there's an international moon thing set up by the European globalists. Can we look for that? Can we look for who owns the moon? Who owns the moon? It reminds me when they were doing the World's Fair in New York in the 1960s, and the guy who was organizing it, a guy named what's his name, and he heard that there was a World's Fair organizing committee based in Europe or something, and he just thought, I'm America. We're going to have our own World's Fair. Like in America, they have places that are called cities. They don't need anybody's permission to name it a city. It's a city. Kansas City, Lancaster City, all these different cities. Ocean City, Atlantic City. They're all named cities, and so he set up a World's Fair in New York in the 1960s. And my father, I used to go there because my father my father worked for American Machine and Foundry, which had set up a monorail, which went around the park for a monorail. And that was supposed to be the bright new future. And I think there's no more monorails anywhere. Maybe there's one monorail in Germany somewhere. Yeah, my parents went to that World's Fair. And he set it up, and all the big European countries didn't come. They didn't want to come because it wasn't approved by some globalists in England. I'm putting a little extra spin on that. I don't know if this is true. Does that sound true to you, producer? Anyway, that's sort of like maybe what this is. Who owns the moon? Take the moon. That's and the thing about the moon landing, which is so funny, is that this is the 56th anniversary of the landing on the moon. Did they fake the landing on the moon? They might have, if there was only one moon landing. But you know how many moon landings there were? Do you know how many people actually landed on the moon? Do you guys know? Okay. Do you know? There were 11 people landed on the moon. There were 6 separate moon landings. You could look it up. I'm not making it up. 12? There's 12. And then they say it's fake. Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's fake. I came up with a great idea for a movie. 0 people landed on the moon, says Joodles, in 1969. Yeah. I remember where I was 56 years ago. I was at summer camp in Torrington, Connecticut. When I was a kid, summer camp. The Germans have a good rail system. So have the Japanese. Ours keeps falling behind. Yeah, it keeps falling behind. Keeps falling behind. I don't know if it keeps falling behind. It's just so expensive. People come here. I come here and I say, this is shocking. How much does it cost to go 50 miles? How much does it cost? The great film, Capricorn 1 or something, the conspiracy theory with O.J. Simpson. Yeah. I mean, that's what they want. They actually believe that people didn't land on the moon 2 years later because it was such an embarrassment to the Soviets, and people didn't want to believe that the Soviets weren't going to do it. But we landed on the moon. I don't know if we could do it now. I mean, I think Elon Musk could probably do it. The only reason why people say the moon landings was fake is because of Capricorn 1. I don't believe that that's true. I think lots of people believe everything is fake. If Walt Phil, basically, they believe the whole world is fake. Don't we believe? I mean, I believe the whole world is fake. I don't trust anything anymore. The moon landing, I kind of trust. Do we believe it? Who thinks it's not? Who wants to make a case why it's not? Why it's not? If there's so much stuff. One thing about the Americans, and I used to believe this, and I'm not sure I believe this anymore, is they don't generally lie about this stuff. But now you find out they're lying. Obama's been lying about the Russia thing. Okay. According to Jim Johnson, who's an American, says my tinfoil hat cousin was a space nut. I inherited her scrapbooks when she started thinking the landing was faked. Yeah. I mean, I could see how people could think that. I watched it. I was very young. I believed. Yeah. You were not very young. Oh, Joe. Yeah, Joe was young. A colleague of my ex's proper fell out with me at the Christmas party for saying it was a fake. She thinks her daddy made the landing gear. Yeah, could be true. Could be true, Joodles. I mean, the problem is they want us to believe that it's fake because what they want to do is they want to take all the accomplishments away from the Angles and the Saxons. I think this is what they want to do. Well, I had near-death experience in 1998, so this could have been a coma dream. Have you seen a funny thing happened on the way to the moon? I didn't see that. Never even heard of that. But they want to believe that all the accomplishments of the white man, the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Picts, the Celts, the Scots, came from, wasn't worthy. I have zero desire to go to the moon. I don't even want to go to White Plains. Or I think you should just left it at White Plains. White Plains is funny. It's like a neighboring town. It's like a neighboring town to Peekskill. Is White Plains still nice, or is it poverty-ridden? I mean, it was getting better and better, White Plains. Anyway, that's a good joke, Joodles. Joodles says it's a good joke, Marianne. I think you may be right. They want to badmouth us, you. They want to badmouth you. That's their motives. Their motives to say, no, we're no good. And that's what they've done. That's what they've done for the past 50 years. We're no good. When the truth is, all the great things in this world comes from us. I hate to say it. I've asked for a one-way ticket to Mars. Who is they? They are the globalists. The globalists are the people who benefit, the billionaires, the people who would benefit from bringing us down. If I was a Russian, I'm so bored with the USA. Do you remember that song? I'm so bored with USA. So da-da-da-da-da. Remember that Clash song? Do you remember that? Team World. Yeah, that's all it is. It's all Team World. I don't know who they is. They isn't anybody. Do you think Keir Starmer has an independent thought in his own brain? But there's a belief. The Clash. Great. Yeah, the Clash. People were so bored. The Yankees, da-da-da, da-da. What are the lyrics to that? I don't even remember the lyrics. I must have heard it 1,000 times. But, you basically, it's when you're tired of hearing, you get tired of hearing about America and doing all this thing. I'm bored. Yeah. Let's look at the lyrics. Let's look at the lyrics for this. Do you know that song, director? No. The Yankee soldier, he want to shoot some... He met it in Cambodia, but now he can't afford a bag by taking drugs. Yankee dollar talk to the dictators of the world. In fact, it's giving orders, and they can't afford to miss a word. I'm so bored with the USA. Yankee detectives, they're always on the TV because killers in America work 7 days a week. Never mind the stars and stripes. Let's print the Watergate tapes. I salute the new wave and hope nobody escapes. It's saying, hey, I'm so bored with the USA. And that's one of the songs that I listened to when I was a kid. Did you listen to that song? I saw a YouTube short of Buzz Aldrin saying the landing was animation. True, but we still landed. CBS had to animate because there weren't video cabs of it in 1969. And there was a video of Neil later. I don't know. I don't believe that. Who knows? Because have you seen all of the AI stuff? They make everything. Everything is a lie. Anyway, Rian Baston. He is going to hell, Starma. Maybe, but he'll be paid a lot of money and he'll be living in Hawaii and won't have to worry about it. Or maybe he'll be the king of the whole thing. The Galleria shopping mall closed. Not sure if the Westchester Mall and the high-end mall is still open. Oh, well, that's bad news. The Galleria is one of the most beautiful. I've never even been to the Galleria. I'm trying to remember if I've ever been to White Plains. But it's a city. It's kind of like it's a mid-sized city outside, like Milton Keynes or something. White Plains is boring as the day is long. The seat of the county department and all the courthouses are there. Parking is super difficult. Okay, so if you do commit a crime in Westchester County, which is right next to New York City, you'll have to go to White Plains. Maybe that's punishment enough, Marianne. Okay. The globalists seem to hate the space advancement stuff. Seems they want us back in the Stone Age and vulnerable. Well, yeah, because look at those rockets are burning. It's just globalism. It's climate change. It's all that stuff. Mick Jones wrote that, and Strummer made it about the USA. It was originally called "I'm So Bored with You." With you. Well, you want to know something? It's funnier with "I'm So Bored with the USA." And then they went and performed. I saw them perform at the Palladium in New York. The Clash. Fantastic. I had a ticket to see Joe Strummer on Hastings Pier. But he died before he could. Yeah, well, that's sad. That's sad for you. It's sad for him. We're not going to die. I'm not going to die. Hey, maybe Strummer can shack up with Obama, laugh out loud. Yeah, well, Obama's being exposed. Is he being exposed? And what's his name is off the air. Colbert is off the air. Okay. I'm looking to go somewhere nice on holiday. Any recommendations? Not the USA, though. Have you tried Malta? Ask Maltese Phil. I'd go to Malta if I had time. He will be in Mauritius in 10 years. Just watch. Who are you saying will be in Mauritius? Me or what's his name? Tony Blair. White Plains looks okay on Google Maps. Yeah, probably it does. I saw the Clash in 1983 in Portsmouth. Fights broke out. Quite wild. Says Joe says this. Yeah, because it was punk rock music. It was new wave music. Who is Grand Chaps, Lucy? Good to see you, Lucy. The Clans Mick Jones' cousin is Grand Chaps. Who is Grand Chaps? Can you please explain to us who that is? You could take Colbert's job. Probably I could. Probably has too much negativity under the bridge. I've said some negative things. I don't want to be negative. You would go to Malta if you had time, Lewis. You've got all the time in the world. I do, but I look. I made a list. Joodles, of things I have to do. I've got to file for a passport. I've got to go to Social Security. I got to go to make. There's things I've got to do. Thank you, Judas, for saying that. Lucy, really, wow. Who is Grand Chaps? Is she going to say? Can we look it up? Or do I have to look it up? I'll look it up if you're not going to look it up. I will look it up. I'm going to look it up. Grand Chaps. Oh, he's the Secretary of Defense. He's the Secretary of Defense. So that's who that guy is. He's 56 years old. He's the Secretary of Defense. He's a British politician, so the Secretary of Defense. He was a Tory. He's a Tory. He's a Tory. I don't know what my story is. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm looking myself. You can look your own self. You can look your own self. Is the coach trip going to Malta? Well, we'd have to go down through Italy, and then we'd have to take the ferry. Hi, Lucy, says Claire. I hope so. Grand Chaps. I didn't realize that. I was a huge Clash fan. Loved the Clash. Not the later years Clash. No one liked the later years because they weren't the Clash. They were, what's his name, hiring a group of band members. Yeah. Jim Johnson, you mentioned filing for Social Security. Is that a UK, US? Both. I need to update my US. I lived in America for 20 years, and I actually worked. I wasn't a hard worker, but I actually worked. If I was a hard worker, I wouldn't be doing this thing. What happened at Shea Stadium, Shanks? What happened at Shea Stadium? Oh, spelled it Shea State. He spelled it wrong. I'm so bored with the USA. I'm going to play. Back in the day, you could insult America and continue to be there, you know? And then you need America. You need America to send you military stuff, for your Ukraine situation. I think that's what it is. Anywhere in Catalonia, I lived there in my 20s, a beautiful place. Well, Catalonia is up in North Spain. Did you get bored with the USA? Yes, in a way, yes, I did get bored with the USA. That's why I came here. Hey, Keith, that's why I came to this country. I thought it was going to be amazing, this country. And it was kind of, and then a lot of it. London calling from the top of the top. Phony Beatlemania is Simon Arnold. Yeah. So I did get bored with the. You get bored with anything. You get bored with the most beautiful women in the world. That's why you women have got to fight to stay interesting. Because that old saying, "Show me the most beautiful women in the world, and I'll show you at least one." I'll show you the most beautiful woman in the world. I'll show you at least one guy who's bored of doing her. Yes. What will happen on Independence Day? Oh, that's he's asking Phil this question. Lewis has canceled from an American satirical newspaper review show. I haven't canceled. Lewis was canceled from an American satirical newspaper review show, Jedster says. Is that true? I don't know. Maybe that. I don't remember that. Rock the Casbah, don't like it. Rock the Casbah. Great songs. White Right. They were good songs. Laugh out loud, Lewis. What do men need to do to stay interested in women? Same thing women need to be interested in men. They need, basically, what do they need to stay? You know what? You know what the truth is? We don't need you to be interesting, Joodles. We want calm. That's what men want. They want calm and quiet. They want peace and quiet. And they want thin, nice women. That's what they want. And they want they want their kids to have good mother. Great to see you, Lewis. I still have your calendar. Russ, UK Tapes. There you go. Thank you, Russ. Where are you living, UK Tapes, Russ? I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for coming. That is so gross. What did I say that was gross? Again, Lucy is talking to the ether. She doesn't talk to anybody in specific, so you can't. I wouldn't have a discussion with Lucy, because she can't say, Lewis, you are so gross, or whatever. No, Lewis, read it again. Read what again? Lewis, what do men need to do to stay interested in women? Interesting to women. Sorry. I can't see. I mean, I can see, but I can't see. Sorry. Interesting to women. Yeah, that's the question. Don't ask that question. Don't ask that question, because you should be worried about yourself as a woman. Malta has 3 days to celebrate independence, according to Maltese Phil. 3 days in Freedom Day, when the Brits actually left. You know what? Yeah. My husband never got bored with me. Yeah, that's brilliant. Or maybe he's lying to you. You know, and I think the problem is we don't need to stay married, so you can't guarantee someone's going to stay interesting to you. No debate, Lewis. Those days are over. You better face the music. Men don't need women anymore. They don't need women, especially they don't need women, so they can find somebody else who's not screaming at them. I mean, I've been screamed at by women for years and years and years, and men do not want to be screamed at by women. You know, men They might run off with somebody else, but they'll still come home to you if you're not screaming at them. Thank you very much, Russ. Women don't need men. That's why the birth rate is declining. No, because women can get men wherever they. No. Women want top dog men. That's the reason birth rate is falling, is because the globalists have demonized parenting, and they basically said you should make money and you should be a big success. Number two, and that big successes are what men like. They like a woman who's successful and has money, and men don't care about that. They just want hot women. Yeah. What did Lorna say? Oh no, he died. Who died? Who died? I'm sounding horrible right now. No, we don't like being yelled at by men, but some men do. No, we don't. We don't yell at you. We just walk out. I think. This is what I think. You never hear this truth, girls. So you agree that women don't need men then? I accept your apology. No. What do you mean they don't need men? Men need women, women need men. But men don't need to be yelled at. And women want a top dog men. They're constantly told, you go to work, girl, and you make your money. So you agree that women don't need men then? I accept, yeah, this is what Judel says. No, it's true. But I'll let it go. No, don't let anything go. You can have an argument with me. I think the problem is that women think that they should be successful because that's what women are looking for, successful men. So they say, look, I'm a boss lady. No guy wants a boss lady. Sorry. My husband used to rant at me. So I had to jump out of the window sometimes. Yeah, maybe he was ranting. How many years ago was this? TV and movies don't show solid guys. Husbands always the butt of jokes. Yeah, because they want to destroy this world. They want to say men are no good. Men are no good. Most men are no good. I proper love shows. I proper love these shows. Men don't need women. 4 seconds later, men need women. What shows are these? What shows are these? Men don't want to be yelled at by women. So, but they also, a lot of men don't want to be yelled at by women. Having women is so expensive, and it's really, and you don't get to see your kids. I know my son, the producer is listening to this, so I got to be careful. Demonize relationships. Look at the attitude of the girl from Snow White woke. She thinks that men liking women is weird, stalking. That woman. That's the new attitude. Do you know it's true? Boss women are great, but they don't attract men. I mean, I like boss women. I like smart women. Lewis, you are brainwashed with red pill BS, Lewis. No, I wasn't brainwashed with this. No one told me that. No one told me this. I mean, they told me this when they said, you're no good, Lewis. You're not good enough. But Mark Therosian said, they don't attract men. They don't. Ladies, you're beautiful. And if you're the breadwinner, and if you're making more money than men, more women are at university than men. It's easier for a woman to get a job than a man to get a job. And that's a fact. That's a fact. I'm a smart woman, Lewis. You are a smart woman. You are a smart woman, I guess. I don't know. Do you ever? No, I think you are, Claire. Anyway, serious question, Lewis. Do you think men are abandoning men at a rate never before seen because they are being brainwashed? What do you mean? Do you mean women? I think you might have to restate that. Or because of their own experiences with actual men. Men are abandoning men? Sorry. Women are abandoning men because they are being brainwashed or because of their own experiences with actual men. I think they've got a big man. They've got a great big man. It's called the government. That government, yeah. The government. Yeah, that's the man. They don't need a man because they go on benefits. They'd force the man to give him half the house, to pay money, even though he's not even seeing his own kids. Basically, yeah, you could think that that's not true, but I've been there. I know exactly what's. Oh my God, I'm sounding horrible. I apologize to you women. You women are great. It's the death of love. It's completely the death of love. Thank you, Shanks, for saying this. Thank you for saying this. But that is the question. It's not because they've seen actual men. Yeah, maybe they've seen actual men and they want a Chad. They want a top of the line 2% guy, and their guy's just a good guy. Really boring. The only time women has made a man a millionaire is when that man was a former billionaire, says Russ. Yeah, yeah. Women don't become girl bosses to attract men to be, what does a TH mean? Well, why do they become girl bosses? Why should we want girl bosses? They become, whatever the reason is, girl bosses do not attract men, number one, and it prevents women from having long-term relationships because they got their own money, and that is okay. This is thought-provoking. Yeah, I'm telling you what I think. I know you think I'm not being nice. That is ridiculous. Who Lucy again is talking to the internet. She's talking to the ether. Sorry, not the internet. No one understands what Lucy's saying. Judel says, I've never been on benefits, nor did any man give me half of this house. So what do we do now? You're screwed. You've been screwed, Judels, by the. I know you're not Team World, but you've been screwed by Team World. You've been screwed by globalization, by benefits. You've been screwed by divorce courts, even though you haven't been. You've been screwed by all these videos saying you were screwed. You went to university, maybe. Maybe university screwed you. Okay, maybe being too smart screwed you. I don't know. Many young men are gamers now. Mark J says, yes, many young men are gamers now, and their GFs hate the lack of attention. Relationships don't last like they used to. If they even begin in the first place. Yeah, they don't begin and they don't last. They don't last. Okay. Lucy says more BS. Most women are financially worse off after divorce. Do you want to know something? That's a lot. They're not for, no, they got half of the guy's money without the guy, so they're financially better off. They didn't have to pay for half a guy. They got half of their stuff. Women trying to act like men. Yeah, and it's not attractive. You want to act like men, you act like men. I'm still thinking, says Joe. I think you are nice. Who are you saying this to? Is this to me? No, Lewis. One man made me quite sure I never wanted another one. No Team World, no brainwashes, no men. Just one man. Yeah, you want to believe that? You can believe that. You want to believe that. Testosterone, this is what Mark throws in. Testosterone in men is now lower than those from the 1970s. Yeah, it's dropping down because of all the high-carb diets we're on, and that's my belief, because of the high-carb diet, and because the power has been taken away from men. We're all slaves. We're all slaves. Joe Biden controls more women than I do. You are so full of SHIT, Lewis, says Lucy Van Pelt. Better educated professional women are more likely to get married and less likely to divorce. That is actually, on one level, it might be true if they're super well educated and they're super rich, yes. But if they're normal college educated question, they're all divorced. 90% of all divorced are instituted by college educated women who are married, get divorced 90% of the time. It's them who's initiating the divorce. Yeah, they think, I'm going to get money for my husband. I'm going to get this and that. So Lucy says, hi, Russ. Anyway, I went to college, worked, got married, stayed at home with the children. It hasn't always been smooth sailing, but overall, fingers crossed, it's worked by and large. Well, that's old school. That's old school. College causes unhappiness. Women should not be allowed to go to college. When they're young. When they're older, maybe, possibly. I mean, really. Women can be mean, but men can be mean too. Yeah, of course they can. There's no incentive for staying together. Men are bad too. Men are SHIT, and women are horrible. Women are horrible. The mother of my kid, she divorced me. She thought she was going to get thought she was going to be so happy. Maybe she eventually became happy. You scream, Lewis. Crying. Yeah, you're a scream, Judel says. Yeah. I mean, I could understand. I can understand how people could hate me for saying these things. I think I'm old school. It's too late now. It's too late now. The globalists have destroyed. Mass production has destroyed everything. My marriage went to crap when my wife wanted to return to work. I hardly saw her. My son spent more time in childcare than with his parents, and for what? We ended up worse off. This is what Maltese Phil said. I could say the same for me. I stayed home and looked after the kids, and it made my wife so unhappy, but she wanted to be in the office. Whatever. Later on, she became a good mother. Lucy says, that is effing bull, Lewis. You have no idea what you are talking. This is in capital, so maybe it's true, Lucy. You know, I mean, I've been there. I've studied it in depth. I've studied the plight of families in depth. And they want women to work because it makes them more money. And they can import people on small boats into the country. That's the whole point of the whole thing. They can import people. Leanne says, hey guys, thanks for coming. I've heard about the interesting book about the educational types for us plebes and the elites called The Great Brain Robbery. This must be part of the mess that we're in now. Probably. I mean, they don't want to educate. Why, it's like the number of kids that we're having. Why would they want to have children when they can import fully grown adults to do the work? And they don't have to pay for them to be sent to high school. Don't let him get under your skin, Lucy. Well, Lucy is great. Women are great. They're almost as capable as men. You've studied it on the red pill incel websites. Back when I studied it, we didn't even have red pill incel websites. I used to go to a meeting called Families Need Fathers, and I used to hear what people said, and they said the exact same story. No matter what ethnic group they were, no matter what their economic situation was, they said the same thing. If women didn't work, there'd be even less, there would be even more immigration, fool. That's totally not true. We don't need any immigration. If women didn't work, there's enough people in this country. Maybe East Dulwich flats houses wouldn't get painted as much. That's one of the lies they tell you. Team World tells you, we need immigration. We don't. People would have more kids. Lewis is the best ever. You will love him, Lucy. Maybe some people don't love me. I mean, we've been on for 40 days. I think eventually you'll figure out Lewis Schaffer is not such a great guy. I mean, I hope I'm not giving the impression I think women are bad. They're not bad, but I think Team World has polluted women. So women, that's what I believe. I believe it's basically hurt families, and women and men, we need families in order to, I look at my two sons. This year, I woke up and I thought to myself, my God, I'm so lucky to have two beautiful kids. That's what I believe. Okay? So Marianne McCara says, pushing through the hard bits was awful. But some days I've missed having work colleagues, but I do think that telling women they should have it all or they could have it all was not a great idea. A lot of pressure, not even a lot of pressure. You can't have it all. Every minute you spend at work is time you're not spending with your kids. And when my kids were born, and what makes me a great guy is I said, I need to be with these kids every minute. I don't want my kids to be left with some beautiful Estonian 18-year-old au pair. I want to look after them. Have I done a good job, director?
Yeah.
Yes. He says yes. It's always better to be with someone you love, who loves you. And I loved my kids. And I hope I did a good job. I didn't do a great job because I'm me. Leanne says, behind every great man is an organized, well-structured, amazing woman. Lie. Possible. A woman can be organized and structured, but women are different than men. They're more emotional. Well, even if they're not more emotional, they're different. They want to, okay. So Judah said, so it's a woman who are painting East Dulwich flats. No, it's not a woman, but it's a woman who's, what do you mean by that? Because I said we don't need immigration. We don't need immigration of men or women. We've got enough people in this country. If the population goes down temporarily, it'll come back up. They only need immigration because they need the low wages, and labor want the free workers on benefits who are going to vote for them. You didn't say that, Jim, but I'm adding that in there. That's what labor want. I agree with that completely. Completely. If we're against Team World, remember Team World is in favor of open immigration because it destroys the local people and it kills women. I feel lucky too, Lewis, to have my gorgeous daughter. Yeah. Lewis is having a large-scale domestic with his harem today. No, I'm not having a domestic. I'm just saying I don't even see how angry my harem is. But I bet you're angry. I know you're angry. I know you're angry. I know you're angry. And Rianne says the old-fashioned ways are best. But I can't have a harem. I had a harem once a few years ago, and it caused nothing but problems. I didn't have a harem. I had like 2 or 3. I had 2. And I agree with Marianne. Women shouldn't need to have it all. We should be cared for by enough industrious, decent men that we don't need to do it. But that often doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because you went to uni, because you were told you were so smart. This is the problem. And that men are told, wait till you get older. Like, what kind of woman wanted me when I was young? They didn't want me, but they I'm not even arguing. It's everyone else. Yeah. Women didn't want me when I was young. They did not want me. Now they want me, but I'm too old. And we're all too old. Or I think that, I can't say it with the R word, think women work because we are brainwashed by feminism. Yes. Well, call it feminism, call whatever you want. Like women didn't work before feminism. They didn't work in the same degree. They still had 13, they didn't take birth control. They didn't have abortions before this. It's not feminism, but feminism is part of communism, and communism is globalism. We work, this is what Lucy says, because we have effing bills to pay. Yeah, you do. But do you like that? No, you don't like that. You don't like that. Back in the day, when I was growing up, a man made enough money for 2 people. And they had a house and a car, maybe in America, even 2 cars. They were able to do this. Okay? And if I'm not blaming women for this. I'm blaming the ideology of globalism. I'm blaming Joe Biden for passing out money to people. I'm blaming out the benefit system. A male friend, this is what he said to me, happy wife, happy life. Yeah, back in the day, women were happy. Women were happier because they didn't have a plan. They weren't watching a video with Lewis Schaffer thinking, I'm gonna do Lewis Schaffer. Screw my kids. No, they're not. I don't know. Are you saying that? Please say that. Okay. Claire says, you are hotter now. You're older. I'm hotter to you, maybe. But even when I was young. But these girls, I should have married one of these young girls when I was young myself. I'm not saying young, but I was young. A man made enough for 2 people because there weren't globalism and unchecked immigration. In a way, yes. I mean, globalism can help the economy a little bit, but in the long run, it doesn't help the nation. And that's what Lewis Schaffer's in favor of. Are you in favor of the nation? The nation we're fighting for the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Picts, the Cornish. Money makes women happy. Yeah, but if they're married and they got kids and they're not going to find some other husband who's going to give them money, they'll be nice to their husband. Are you sure they were happy or just used to that kind of life? They were used to that kind of life, and men were used to that kind of life too. They had their wife. They weren't going out divorcing their wife. It's like when my wife divorced me, it meant suddenly I'm free. I mean, I didn't appreciate the freedom, but suddenly I'm free. I wasn't being yelled at. I had a quiet home. The globalists, this is what you said. Biden, yeah, I'm blaming, but come on, man, Biden. Yes, Shanks, Biden. I blame Biden. Okay. But Adam Hudson's ads right now, it's Adam Hudson, Hutson. The globalists just wanted to get the extra tax that they were not getting when many females didn't work. Yeah, well, how can you stay home and take care of your kids? We need the money. How could you do that? That's bad. They told people it was bad to be a mother. I'm just a mother, and they were, yeah, but what do? I'm a boss lady. Oh, you're a boss lady. Anyway, yeah, that's what Adam Hudson say. I understand that they paid for the women's equal rights groups, etc. That's quite possible, Adam Hudson. I read in Canada, the people, it's easier to pay for the money to put a child in a creche or whatever they call that for babies, to be cared for by somebody who did not love them, than the amount of money. They get way more money from the taxes of women working, even in a low-paying job. Okay, even in a low-paying job. I'm against childcare completely. Are you listening to this, Mr. Producer? Do I sound horrible?
Yeah, but I'm not listening.
He's not listening, but I sound horrible. I know I sound horrible. I'm saying I'm against childcare. I'm against abortion. I'm against birth control. I'm against divorce. I become a Muslim radical, maybe. I mean, I don't know how we can enact this. I'm against free-floating men and women. I'm against this thing. Everyone thinks they're so happy, not that happy. Russ, how did you find this channel? Jim Johnson asks. But did you marry one of those young women, Lewis? No, I didn't. So where do we go now? I didn't realize how bad this was. I was a feminist back then. I believed in abortion, in birth control. I believe in free sex. I believe in women were as smart as men and could do whatever they wanted to do, and that they would find some man later on in life. And then they reach 40, whatever years old, and they're not happy. They're not happy in this job, in their jobs. Or maybe they are happy in their jobs. Plenty of passion on this topic. Could be good for some YouTube shorts. Yeah, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe, yeah, that's a good point, Alan. Alan Hudson says, yeah. I didn't marry one of them. I should have married one of them. If I have to do it again, and I've told my son this, find a girl, get married, have kids as young as possible. As young as possible. They'll divorce you, sure they will, but you'll have a kid. You'll have a kid. So Leanne adds, thank you, Leanne. Tried that, Alex. Money only makes you happy when you realize the man isn't making you happy. It just makes up for the CRAP you have to go through, and then eventually, even then, that's not good enough. Yeah. I mean, truth is, we have to have religious values. I'm now in favor of religion, even Islam, even the Islamic religion makes people happier. And that's why they will win, because it's going to make them happier, Islam, the Muslim faith. What Vatanai music? You started school in 1966. None of the other children's had mothers in full-time work. Exactly. And people were we better back then? I don't know. I think we were better. Once society collapsed, the family unit collapsed, and now no cohesion. Yeah, it's the collapse of the family. And is this revolutionary, what I'm saying? A lot of people are beginning to see this. You wind up with purple-haired women high on carbs being vegetarianism. Somebody just married their AI companion. Yeah, it's tragic. My life is tragic. I've been so unhappy. I should have stayed married to my son's mother, basically. I never left my daughter with a carer, just my mom, says Claire C. Well, that's like me too. I was obsessed with it, but I was like attacked. I remember my wife said, I don't find this sexy. She didn't find it attractive. Holy SHIT, this has taken a turn. Yeah, it's taken a turn. Sorry. We can't discuss this. We can't discuss this. I know we can't discuss this because it makes it seem like I'm attacking you women, which I'm not doing. I'm saying we've been lied to. I'm lucky. I'm lucky with my two boys. I'm really lucky with it. I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky. I don't think Islam makes women happier, especially the extreme versions where they're completely covered. Well, you want to know something? I disagree. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I disagree. I disagree with it. First of all, the reason they were covered is because their skin didn't get wrinkled, basically, and that's important to men.
Do you want some water?
Yes, I would.
Should I just fill this up?
No. Yes, you can. You can do that. My son just came in and asked me. He's been listening. I don't know if he's heard any of this. He's not listened. I'm not religion, but we need Christianity. It's part of the fiber of our culture. Yeah, Christianity could work. The old school religions. I don't believe in Islam. Okay, but I do believe that we need to stay together. We should be totally against divorce. I know a lot of the women here are like free, independent women, and you know you don't want to be told you can't get divorced. You know, I'm against it. I was around from the start of the 80s, and I can see the huge destruction of the family unit. I see that the destruction of the family unit has been huge, according to Adam Hudson. It's been used. They're destroying this country by destroying the families, which destroys the community, which destroys the county, the shire, the country, and makes us unable to fight off the enemy invaders. No, indeed, Marianne, Islam makes men happier. No, it doesn't make men happier. It doesn't make men any. It makes men a bit happier. Thank you very much. My son brought me a glass. Let's give this guy a round of applause. The producer.
Look at you. You were in such a bad mood earlier.
I was in a bad mood, but now I'm like talking my mind. But I don't see these people. I mean, Lucy may never. Jesus H. She may never talk to me again. Doodles, who I'm really quite fond of, may never talk to me again. Claire C. She might talk to me again. Yeah, we need families. We need children. That's the whole purpose of animal life, is to have children, is it not? It's to have kids. Islam filled the void left by Christianity. That's not true. They didn't fill the void. They captured the void. It's a great religion. If you want to take 2 million people are Islamic. Okay, 2 billion people. Destruction of the family unit is a tactic used by communists. Totally true. A round of applause for Marianne McCara Fitzpatrick. That's exactly what the story is. Destruction of the family, like in Israel. They tried to destroy the family with kibbutz, where there were like no mothers and fathers were sleeping in one place and the kids sleeping in another place, because the people who came were Europeans who were communists. Lewis, in the early days back in New York, would you say the New York women were great back then? The New Yorker women? That's a good question, Russ. I would not say. I would say no. I would say they were the most advanced women. They weren't getting married. They were looking for jobs. They were smart women. So the answer is no. I'm against women going to university. I'm against women working when they have young children. Let's say 40 years old, they can get a job. 45. I'm sorry, Judel. Someone like you is amazing, But, taking care of children is the most important thing. Leanne says, could it be that originally women covered themselves to protect themselves due to being sexualized by men? Well, maybe one thing leads to another. That's a good point. Yeah. Cultural Marxism since the late 60s. Yeah, even earlier. I remember there's been Marxism, the idea of women in offices and women working and that, all sorts of things with 50s. I don't think so, Judel says to Leanne. They did it because they were instructed to, under fear that they would be sexualized by man. Same as the COVID fear. Yeah, well, that's what humans do. But there must have been a reason why it was considered best. But now they want it all across the world as a sign that you're part of their group. Okay? Joe says, glad you're not prime minister, Lewis. Making laws as I went to uni, laugh out loud. Women's Hour with Lewis Schaffer. Yeah, well, what is Women's Hour? Let's hear women's opinions. You could have, I'm not saying women are almost, let's say women are as smart as men. They're not as smart because they're different than men. Men and women are not the same. The communist East, says Vantana, loved working women. Kids looked after by the state and indoctrinated. Exactly, Vantana, exactly. Like in this country. Let's pay money to send a little baby, to the creche in Britain. Who thought of that? The communist parties of this country, which are the Tories and the Liberal Dems and Labour. With university, then building a career, women must be losing 10 years to meet a good person to settle down with and have children. Yes, Yeah, and then they start looking for children when they're in their 30s, and it's, women need to fall in love with somebody, and they don't just want to, they just don't fall in love. It's subjugation of women by men. This is what Judel says, and I trust Judel's opinion, but she's wrong about this. And Lewis knows we need sun on our skin, no matter what sex we are. The truth is, these are women in Saudi Arabia who get enough sun. Okay, maybe here we do need sun. We do need sun, but it's not subjugation necessarily of women. It isn't. And I've lived with women. I know when women are unhappy and they can change the world, they can get the mask taken off their faces. They can make men's lives impossible. Women are our nurturers. I'm flailing now. Not smart as men. Okay. If you want women to be same as HMs, pay them. Pay them. Women make more money than men nowadays. I've seen the Jordan Peterson things, Lucy. Mark J says, women are our nurturers before birth, and then after it. I think many get a rough deal, to be honest. They deserve more fair play, in my view. But I do understand the physical differences in some work situations. Well, the difference is between men and women. I was just watching a program about this. We could talk about the differences. The main difference is that women believe in getting along, and men like to argue. Here we go. So where are we? Maybe women have more emotional intelligence, says Marianne, and men are more pragmatic. They also have more physical strength. Yeah, they got all that stuff. Most jobs today can be done by women. They can be done by women. But that doesn't mean they should be done by women. And women hate working because all humans hate working. But taking care of kids is very important. I think that what is wrong with society is that just being a mom is frowned upon and seen as a low, easy job. Billionaires have their own problems, Leanne says. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Mums are frowned upon, and men who take care of women are even double frowned upon. Explain to the whole class how women get sun through their skin when they have a slit through their eyes, Lewis. Because some I think sun goes through the black stuff, the black clothing that they're wearing. Maybe that's what it is. Have you seen the IQ bell curve? Most of the geniuses are men, but so are some of the dunces, Lewis. Yeah, thank you I think you're calling me a dunce. This is what happens when GB News doesn't invite Lewis on. Yeah, Lewis goes mental. He has a nervous breakdown. Yeah, the bell curve. I'm not saying women are dumb. They're different than men, they're different than men, and they need to actually give birth to a child. If they don't give birth to a child, they're extremely unhappy. I mean, not everybody. You could be happy and not give, but basically, in the USA, the most insane people are the lefty, white, college-educated women. Yeah. No, I think the men are even more crazy because they're trying to, get these lefty, white women, college-educated women to like them because college is now an indoctrination mill. Victimhood. Yes, Jim Johnson. Yeah, I believe that. We do not make more money than men in general. Says who? You don't make the big money because you don't start any big companies. So don't say you don't make the big money. You make the big money. Okay. Doodle says, what about Papa FS, Lewis? We already know this. What is Papa? You see a video of me take Papa FS. We already know this, yet how many men are up to the job? It's that is like basically me saying, what do women want and what do women want? They want Papa FS. I'm trying to remember what that means. Where did you see that, Joodles? Where does Papa FS? Papa means what women are looking for. They want protection. They want provision. They want, I forgot what the things are. Papa, am I listed on YouTube? Is that? Oh my God, there's so much bad stuff that I said, this is what women want when you're trying to make a woman happy. She wants provision. She wants money. She wants protection. She wants Papa FS status. She wants status. She doesn't want the man to be a loser. Papa FS. I'll have to think of what the other things are. I also think our natural human instinct as men is to provide, protect, and to care for women has been eroded. Yeah, they don't need us. And if you try to protect a woman, you put your foot in there and say no, the woman says you're a bully and she gets a divorce and she's really unhappy. Has been eroded. I am all for independence, but men and women work as a team. Yes, what's that called? We work as a team. Let's get together. Team. We work as a team. Screw feminism, screw communism, screw globalism. My missus was lying on a sunbed. She said she was trying to get the sun all over tan. I said, well, you're asking a lot of the sun. Okay. They won't be earning anything if they're not working, will they? No. And they shouldn't be earning anything. Maybe when they're older, they shouldn't. Women should be. There's a law. There's a law that says you cannot pay women less than men. So don't say they're being hired more. You'd rather hire a man than some. Am I right? Do you think I'm not asking you this question? Yes, I'm saying Lucy. I'm saying. Yeah. We've been sold a whole bill of lies about women working. Okay, for the next week, cover yourself head to foot in black clothing and see how you get on. Will you do it for us? So you are saying that covering yourself completely is so bad for women, but not bad enough for them to actually protest against this. Lewis, you should consider running online courses in misogyny. I feel I've learned a lot today. Thank you, Jedster. Well, you can call it misogyny. I'm saying what makes women happy. And if women don't want to say what makes them happy, and they're not fighting it. They've been brainwashed by globalists. Feminism is really bad for women. And you may think it's great. Oh, I'm being paid the same amount of men. Yeah. And I realize women are very defensive against this. They don't want to believe this. And not only do they not want to believe this, they rarely heard this. I didn't hear this until a couple of years ago. I didn't even realize it. I thought women were like happy as Larry and they were so miserable. And you're miserable. And the way you could protest against what I'm saying is by not being miserable. And okay. You can call it misogyny. I don't know. Maybe it is misogyny. Well, how is it misogyny to say, I think women would be happier this way? I'm not saying you'd be. And I think we'd have more kids, which would make us happier. We'd have families, which make people happier. We'd have communities, which would make people happier. We wouldn't have mass immigration, which would make people happy. I meant the general, as in the middle of the road jobs, call centers and office. No, because it makes women unhappy to work. And I've heard this for years, and mostly it's from guys who have the more serious positions or earn more money. That's all. What are you saying? What are you saying that's about Joe? I missed the point there. Ideally, men and women, says Marianne, are complementary to each other. Each has the roles that's best suited for them. That's historically correct, Marianne, but it's not now. It's not now. Women are working at some job that they're totally ill-suited, but they still put on makeup and they put their hair in a bow and they're banging the boss in the place. Do a show next week in a burqa, says Adam Hudson. Judel says this. You think women aren't protesting against niqabs, Lewis? Women in Iran, and I'm sure plenty of other places, have been beaten to death on the street for not wearing it. Will you wear one for us 1 week? The answer to that question is, yeah, they're protesting. But there's lots of ways of protesting. Maybe you don't protest in the street. You can't protest in this country in the street against mass immigration. Because if you do, you get arrested. I'll even buy one and send it to you. Are they protesting the hijab in London? I don't know if they are, says Jim Johnson. If I was an employer, I wouldn't hire young women, as she will only need maternity leave. Yeah, no, she won't need maternity leave because she's not having any kids. They're having fewer and fewer and fewer kids. You've heard what? Lucy again is speaking to the ether, so her message does not get read out. Okay, I don't know what she's heard, but I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what she's heard. I'm saying that still now, men in those kind of working environments still have higher positions in general. Nothing has really changed. I'll leave that now. Okay. Lewis is an unapologetic misogynist, but that's okay. Thank you, Rianne. Yeah, you can call me a misogynist. I think feminism is misogynistic. Making women work, which takes them away from having children, makes them work, which takes away from creating a family, which is what women prefer to do. Okay? Right? Men, I don't know. Okay? So don't protest in the street, says Joodles. Okay? Where are they supposed to protest exactly? This is like debating the Troons. Who are the Troons? I forget who the Troons are. Anyway, you protest at home. Protest at home. Tell your wife I'm unhappy with. The wife goes, I'm unhappy with what you're doing. Like she says, I'm unhappy. Like my wife said, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy, and she proved her point. Maybe Boris was right about the letterbox. I don't know. The problem with certain men is they work and think the money earned is what they have earned. And women looking after the children don't earn part of the money by looking after the kids. That is a lie, Leanne. That is a lie. That is a lie. Back in the day, the men provided the money and the women are taking care of the kids. So they don't think that. They don't think, oh, this is my money. Now, maybe today they do because they've been hit on the head by feminism saying and women are going, this is my money. This is my money. So men go, so make some money. Make some money. No joke, says Russ. But I once went to a nudist beach here in the UK and my ex-girlfriend got angry because I never took her. The next time I took her, she got angry and jealous because of the naked women she saw. Well, that's question number 2. We're not talking about that. Women are different than men. Women are different than men. Husband. Yeah, Joodles. Women have often worked. No, they have often done work of a kind. Maybe making butter, maybe farming. Thank you. Maybe working. They have always worked. But they've always been married. And they worked at home for the family. They have worked. I'm not saying I haven't said they can't work. I just think they should be prevented. I don't know. If someone reads this, they're going to be really angry with me. They should be prevented from working. Yeah. Who are you talking to, Lucy? You don't have a right to participate if you don't say who you're talking to. You have a right, but I'm not going to listen to you because it's amazing, Lucy. There's no coherence in his statements whatsoever. Yes, there is. Is somebody hearing a coherence in my statements? I'm saying the global push to making women work at the price of having children and staying married, okay, has destroyed this country. If you want to know why the boats are landing, it's because of feminism. Why we've got to be super nice to people is caring. Whatever they say, I'm caring, be caring. Caring is a feminine idea. And we don't need 100% caring. We need 50%. We're not letting those people come in and have bad times with our wife and children. My cousin married into it and regretted it later, says Mark J. Women of a certain religion. The police even fail them all along, even fail them all along with our victims when they ask for police help. Yeah, very bad. We're in a very bad shape. Adam says, if men give birth, then I guess it would be women who were the money earners and the single incomes were the norm. That's a joke on a joke. Okay, Lewis is just having an all-out war on feminism. Yeah, that's what I am. Having an all-out war on feminism and globalism and communism, on mass immigration, the destruction of the community, and all these things. I shouldn't talk like this because I think it's dangerous. I'm not being anti-women. I think this is what's best for women. Okay, you think, you don't like women, you don't think women is more, you don't think women can do things, you think women is... I don't think that. And it's So thank you, Simon. And it's wrong for you to say that about me. My wife's grandfather, says Vatanai, never shared his money with my grandmother and his 6 children. She had to take sewing and washing. He was cruel. He wasn't good. Yeah, that happens. That happens. There were bad men at the time. Okay, but we had families then. We had a community then. We had a religion. You can go to the religion. We had people who cared. That guy was called in. He was called into the church and said, "You can't be like this. You got to be good." Lewis has been chucked off GB News, so he tries to make a little money to survive. Know any kind millionaires on his brainwave? Yeah, maybe. Anybody want to give me money? Is that what you're saying? Hyena males give birth through their penis. Yeah. We're humans. This is what we are. We're humans. We're humans. I'm sorry. We've bought in. These people have lied to us. We need to end feminism right now, basically. We need to promote early marriage, early childbirth, or, no divorce. We need all of this. Oh my God, this is so horrible. Have people stop listening to me? Mass immigration has nothing to do with feminism and not the fault of women. It's the fault of men too. Men are equally responsible for this. I think Keir Starmer is a man, I think. Most people in power who are responsible for immigration are still men. You're blaming the men. It's men and women. It's you're sitting here, Lucy, saying I'm not a feminist, but you are a feminist. Maybe you're saying whatever. I don't know what it is. It's men and women. Child marriage. How early are we going? I don't know. You don't want to say. It was on Rogan. Child marriage. I'm afraid to say how early am I going, but people need to get married earlier. They need to get married earlier. Sad that Charles is a reflection of the culture, not a defender of the faith. Yeah, well, yeah, he's a man, but then you think it's only the men that think this? Like you look at the Islamist group. You think it's only the men that think those thoughts, that believe in a mask? Afghanistan child marriage is like age 9. You think it's only the men. It's not only the men. It's not only the men. Okay, let's take a break and let's get started when we come back again. All right, unless someone wants to add something in the next 2 minutes. Men and women's fault. Yeah, bad things come from men and women's fault. Good things because of men. You want to believe that men think like that. That's rubbish, Joodles. Rubbish. Join Lewis again tomorrow for more top tips. That's not the top tip that I'm having. I believe, what do they call it when men and women are together in a dualism, in a something, in a whatever it is, men and women. Men and women. The men in this country are communists. They are feminists. The Boris Johnson, look at all the wives that he has. He believes in this stuff. I'm against it now. I've had 2 wives, maybe, if you call her a wife. You think like that, Lewis. You've just ranted about it for an hour. I don't think the good things come from men. I think that women have participated in this. They've participated in this. They've made it possible for their own demise. And they believe in their own demise. Their own demise is going to work. Work is really fun for 20-year-old or 22-year-old women. But when you're 45 years old, it's not fun. When you're 55, it's totally not fun. Totally not fun. I did not say that. I didn't say that. I don't know who you're talking to, Lucy, but that's totally, I'm going to block you. Lewis, women, you love women. I love women. He just has old school views. If men treated women better, the world would be a better place. There are bad women too, though. Women are getting worse because the men keep screwing it up. Leanne, that is totally not true. I don't believe that. It's that is that industrialization has made it possible for women to work. So when women are not permitted to work at 55 isn't fun for anybody. Isn't fun for anybody. But the point I'm making is that work is bad, but it's now possible for women to work. And it's a lot of fun to work. You get to make YouTube videos. You get to go to the office and flirt with the older guys there, maybe the girls there. I'm against it all. Hardcore feminists make it difficult. No, all feminism makes it difficult. Feminism is bad, but how do you get rid of feminism? We're all believers. I'm a believer. I also have what would be called old school views. Men don't treat women well enough, and he won't take responsibility for any of it. Why should a man treat a woman well enough? You're your own boss lady. I'm supposed to open a car door for you? I'm supposed to pay for your dinner? You know what I mean? Why should a man do that? Is it time for a blood pressure test? Yes. That is so funny. Jedster, that's yes. Do I have to put on a t-shirt, or can I take my shirt off in front of these people? Do I have to take my shirt off?
No, don't. Leave your shirt on.
I have to put on a t-shirt. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm gonna measure my blood pressure. Look at the muscles there. Look at the muscles there. Look at the muscles. Okay. Okay. Joe, what was your heart rate? What is your heart rate? If your heart rate's above 80, you've got high blood pressure. That's what I believe. That's the Lewis Schaffer belief. So why is Lewis Schaffer stressed out about women are doing with their lives? Because it's all part of the same thing. It's enabled what's going on in every aspect of the country, basically. Orange t-shirt is out. I'm taking that as an apology. What, that you like the orange t-shirt? No, it's not. I think it's kind of, is it orange? Maybe it is a bit orange. Okay. Okay. Lucy, men are bad. Men are bad. You want to believe that? Let's have hospitals staffed entirely by men. Yeah. Could do. Oh. I'm measuring my blood pressure. I've got the blood pressure thing here. Can you see this? Let me move this back. Tell me if I'm knocking something off. It's hard to see. Here we go. Could be too high. Okay. Everything's gonna be fine. I'm not sure, Shanks, if we're gonna do 2 shows.
You're not.
I'm not. Why not?
Because I'm here in the house.
I can't do another show because Columbus is sorry because the producer is here in the house.
You can always move your stuff into your other room. You're not doing two.
I don't want to move into the other room. I'm measuring it right now. I just put this on. I put it on because I didn't want to come in here without a shirt on. You don't want to see a man without a shirt on. Everyone isn't equal. Women are not equal to men. Men are not equal to women. Can you see this? 200 over 122 at 57 beats a minute. Okay, let's do this again. I'm measuring it again. It's I'm measuring my blood pressure again. It's just something about the machine. It won't. It doesn't always come up with something. I might be too high. That's the problem. It's not giving me a reading. I'm going to measure it one more time. I'm going to measure it one more time. I can't talk when I'm doing this, so I'll answer. I'm going to try one more time. I don't know why it's not working. It's very high. My blood pressure is very high. It's not the batteries because it's plugged in. I got it plugged into the outlet, so it's not the batteries. Let me just get this thing to measure. You know, to measure. I removed the batteries. It's not working because you no longer have a heart, Lewis. What I'm doing here is
What are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing?
You're just doing nothing.
No, I'm measuring my blood pressure. See if that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm measuring the blood pressure. Maybe my blood pressure's too high because it was 200 over something. You're on a carnivorous diet, so you need to measure the result against that diet would normally give you. You'd have to cater that in somehow. I don't know what you mean, but okay. It says 183 over 108 with 54 beats a minute. That's what this says. It says this. It says this. Okay. Okay, it's genuinely astonishing that attitudes like Lewis's still exist, Lucy. That's what Judels is saying. Yeah, I mean, I have these attitudes. Am I in favor of putting them all into place? The problem is that a lot of these attitudes, which I live by, I agree with, I practice, are cumulatively all come from the same place, and it's dangerous for the country. There are three teams. There's the globalists, there are the maybe conservatives who agree with pretty much all the globalists believe in, but maybe not spending as much money on it. And then there are the Muslims or the really religious people from other groups of people. So that's where the war is. And there is and it is kind of a war. Okay? It is a war. Lucy says it's all over Twitter, Joodles. I see it every day and it's growing. It's all on Twitter. That's right. It's all been promulgated by Twitter, as if abortion and birth control and women working and men being bad and all that stuff is just promoted by Twitter. No, it's all over. We've been inundated with that. Men are bad. Men are beating on women. All that stuff. All that stuff. I have to say though, Leanne says, at least he is truthful about it. A lot of people think that, but lie and hide it. Yeah, that's even more scary. I mean, I don't even agree with everything that I've said. I don't think we should do it, but that's our enemy believes that. And all the problems that we have is caused by that. I mean, I believe in women working. My mother was a worker and she was smart, university educated. All the women I've gone out with are smart, I hope. They're all smart, but there's also a lot of unhappiness. But the question is, how unhappy will you be? Will you be unhappy if you know, I mean, why should men pay for you? This is what a man would say. Why should a man pay for you? Why should our taxes go to you? Men pay more taxes. Why should the house go to you? You know, screw you. This is the worst show that I've ever done. I want to apologize for this show. I want to apologize to you people for having listened to me, and now you find out that I'm a horrible, horrible person. Okay? Maybe. Right now, they are showing highlights of a morning program on GB News. They are using the primetime spot. Well, what does that mean? Right now, they are showing highlights of a morning program on GB News. They are using the primetime spot well, aren't they? I don't know what that means. Who is Peter Blexley? Shanks. One of the reasons why I don't want another one. You're saying to Russ, what's another one? Many men have that attitude, and that's the understatement. The difference is Lewis is honest, and the other men are afraid to be honest. Well, you could say I'm a great guy because I don't know if I'm honest. I'm just saying I blame feminism for the decline of Britain. And the West. And the West. You're fine, Lewis. I think we're still fond of you. You're just mental. No, I don't think you're fond of me. I think people could turn on me. You know, I'm just saying we have a problem in this country. And the problem is we need to look at things that we take for granted, but it has a super negative effect on the world. Public education, which I'm against. It's all taught by women of a certain kind. Okay? I'm against even men being teachers too. I'm not sure anything shocks me anymore, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Yeah, I'm a bit shocked. I'm a bit shocked myself because I know how horrible this sounds. I'm not afraid to say it though. That's my problem. What things do you have that's horrible? You don't even realize how horrible things you say about men. Men are doing this and men are this and men are keeping men. It's horrible. Horrible. You know, you don't realize how horrible it is. The fact is, we've got a country that is losing itself because it's not fighting for itself. And what is itself? When you destroy the family, when you destroy your community, when you destroy the county, when you destroy the state, you don't have much left. When you have the state telling you what you have to be learned, what you have to learn in school. Okay? GB News is destroying itself. I don't know if it is. Well, you can see, because the people here who are listening to me, I've said lots of things that are not left-wing things. But when it comes to feminism and women working, okay, the globalists, is what Adam Hudson says, the globalists hate anything natural in the way things were in the past. When the past was aligned more with the natural order of things. Yes, it's true. There's this guy Godis that I listen to. You know, women worked. They did work, but they were pregnant most of the time, and they are having kids. And the man went out, and the man had to defend the family. And maybe the women also did stuff, but that doesn't mean that's the best way. Women want to be protected. They want to be provided for. They want to be affirmed. They want to be told they're beautiful. They want to be, men are different than women. The difference is, Lewis says, Judels, I don't have the same capacity to be dishonest in public. Just look at Sandy Peggy, okay? Told a man to get out of the changing room, and she immediately got suspended. Yeah. Don't you think I'm the same way? Don't you think I'm living a life of fear, Judels? I am. I don't want people to hate me. I want women to like me. So I'm going to have to live a life where I go, I don't say that. Okay? You make some great points, Lewis, says Simon Arnold. These debates are usually swept under the carpet, Lewis. I agree with your back to common values approach. Well, I do believe that, but where do you say? Women teachers are very good in the 50s and 60s, Rianne says. Yeah, but now all teachers are bad. You're saying we're not going to have NHS nurses, female nurses. Yeah, get rid of all the nurses. birth rates are dropping in non-feminist countries too. It's mainly industrialization and urbanization. That's exactly true. That's true, Lucy. But at the same time, it's worse here. It's worse here. It's worse in Korea, in South Korea, in Japan. It's worse all over the world. The West did it first, but the rest of the world, according to Lucy, is developing, and their birth rates are about to drop off a cliff. Why are they about to drop off a cliff? Oh, here comes Andrew Tate being mentioned. Andrew Tate was going to have Lewis in his show, but he thought it was a bit too extreme. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'm like Andrew Tate. I don't really believe in all of this stuff completely, but it could be. Teachers should be of equal mix of male and female. No, we need men to make the money, basically. Make the money. This is the type of trap we're being led into. Old versus young, men versus women, left versus right. These are all ways to control us. That's partially true, but there is a difference between men and women. Whether there's a difference between black people and white people, I'm not sure, but there's a difference between men and women. And change of attitudes to life, thanks to our dictators and governments, making it that way for all of us. Yeah. Well, this woman doesn't like you. Thank you, Lucy. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Exactly, Hugh. Said earlier, Lewis is them versus us all the time. Ray, men versus women. As someone who's been really hurt by, I mean, was it women? No, it was the state. The state. It was a feminist view. It wasn't even women. It was a feminist worldview. I'm a bit questioning that. There was a rise in women teachers sleeping with underage students too. Yeah. Didn't you see my post earlier about both my granny and my mom were teachers, and they were great. My mother was a teacher. You know, I'm not saying women can't be good teachers. I'm just saying that we need, I don't even know how it can be done. Maybe it can't be done. We need to have men, we need to have women in a place where they, I shouldn't even say about this because there are women here with, you know, whatever. So I didn't see. My mom was a teacher too. Okay. People were teachers. Okay, Joe. Yeah, and they were great. So I'm not saying women, I didn't say that women can't be as good as men. I'm saying, you know, no, I'm not doing that well in this thing because I know it can hurt some women who maybe let having children go too late and now they don't have children and they feel a sadness. I mean, it's a miracle that I had kids. It's a miracle. Would you say it's a miracle, Columbus?
Miracle you found someone to tolerate you.
Yes, the miracle that I found someone because she was older, right?
Stop. Move on.
Yeah. It's back to pointing out that the emperor's lack of clothing. We're supposed to submit, to remain silent, or get punished. Yes, that's what they want us to. I saw a very interesting video about this. Are you going to go to the SHOP, Columbus? I mean, whatever your name is. Are you going to the shop?
Huh?
Yeah. You go. Oh, you're going to tennis. Oh, yes. Oh, that's good news. I'm so happy my son is playing tennis. It's back to pointing out. Yeah. So one day teachers will be replaced by robots. Sure. And they could be totally trained. It's all about training. I'm going to go put on a shirt. I'm going to put on a shirt. Just you stay there, whatever you want to do. Where are you playing? All right, thank you very much. Big round of applause for the director. For coming in. The producer. Okay. So Warren Foster's in the house. Where does Warren come from? He comes from Warsaw, which is in the Midlands there somewhere. Mark J says, I had a narcissistic ex, but after a while I healed. For some guys, they go through it longer, so it's understandable. It can take a life to forgive. It's not always an easy road, Lewis. That is so true. I was angry for years and years.
There we
like,
go.
So angry. I was angry with the court system in this country. How, I could read you the report I had about what a great dad I was. But the last sentence is, who should have total control of the child? The nexus of childcare should go to the mother. So that's why I'm angry. The times have changed too much to have the values of earlier times, maybe. Yeah.
The court made the right decision.
According to the director, the court made the right decision on why
Small children,
need money, right? Is that what you're going to
they
say?
need money and they should be with their mother. You were round the corner and you had unlimited access. Like, it's not
Can you hear what this guy is saying?
like
I didn't have unlimited access. I did not.
this is your fault for
not being nice to the mother.
for allowing it to get to that point.
Yes, it's my fault because I wasn't nice enough to the mother. How's that for equality there? Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, I should have just gone, whatever you say, honey.
Yes,
I literally should have done that. Did you see? I should have done that. I should have said, you're the boss. I'm going to go out to work. Don't work. Stay home and take care of little Johnny. That's not his name. Why would you change your top in the middle of the show? Because I didn't like the way I looked. You have to look good. Do you like this shirt? I like this shirt. It's a cotton shirt. It comes from Uniqlo. I've got 3 of them. I like them. I mean, I understand why the director is saying what he's saying. Director, producer. I understand. His mother, his mother had more money than I did. I wasn't worthy of love because I didn't have as much money. Yeah. Nice. Thank you, Shanks, for nice shirt. The point is, there can't be a family unit if the woman is working. When they're young babies, somebody's got to take care of the kids. What are you gonna trust them with some, au pair girl? They don't never mention au pair or putting the kid in a creche. Can you trust them? I wouldn't trust my kid with an au pair, with an 18-year-old from. In my case, it was Estonia. I didn't trust them. I said, I'm going to look after the kid. Yeah. Was I perfect? No. Maybe we can't go back to earlier times, says Joe, because the whole infrastructure has changed. Economy, taxation, affordability, housing, the list is endless. You know what? That might be true. It might be true we can't go back. But we're actually going back in time through mass importation of people who have different belief systems than we do. We're changing the entire system like that. And that's why this time will be remembered, because it's the intersection of these massive changes, Joe. And I'm not saying I'm in favor of changing things. But maybe it'd be nice to know. What's going on in the world. What, Team World versus Team Britain versus, the Islamic Sharia takeover of the country. Okay. Okay, so Leanne is saying something. Who are you talking to, Leanne? The point is there can't be so Lucy doesn't like that. I think, okay, bye-bye. I'll see you later. My favorite time, Malteseville, was in the 90s, but I'm not sure I want to relive the last 30 years. Yeah, was it a better time? I don't know. I mean, lots of women had lots of fun times in the 90s. And then they wake up, it's now 2000 or 2020, and they're all alone. My favorite time, what percent of the population does not have a husband? Or what part of the population doesn't have a wife? It's not good. AI is the future, says Mark J. to Lucy, but it's not all bad because many people will be able to capitalize and be able to use AI to make their money. AI will be doing our work while we own it, basically. You want to believe that lie. First of all, you won't even be in this country. This country won't be this country anymore. Mark J. How old are you, Mark, again? This country won't be. It won't be that. It won't be exactly the same thing, but we have AI. It won't be that. The country is going through unbelievably massive changes. I don't think like them, but I think the situation we have now is horrific. It might even be better. It might be better. It won't be good for the Jews, and it won't be good if you're a Christian, and it won't be good for lots of reasons. I believe in freedom and freedom of speech. I do believe in that. So maybe it won't be better for me. But you want to know why things are going bad right now. It's coming, two worlds colliding in his head with that one, Lucy. Yeah. What do we do? Do we want that to happen? Do we want, the old way to happen? Or do we want, the old way is going to happen. And by feminism ostracizing men who can fight for them, the men don't want to fight now who are in this country. They don't want to fight, and someone needs to fight. It's the death of love, says Shanks. The death of love. We need love. We need men to love women and women to love men. We need a man to look at his wife and to say, you know what, you're getting on my nerves, but I love you anyway. Or women to say to men, you know what, I know I could have married somebody better, but you're my husband. You maybe watch Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof. Two worlds are colliding, Jules. That's so true. AI is not the future, in my opinion. It just makes us less capable. Nothing wrong with not having kids. Yes, there is. We need kids. We need kids. Not as many kids maybe as we once had, but we need kids. It makes us happy. Okay. No, I didn't see that. It says Alan Hudson. Did I see the Nick Dixon? No, I didn't see that one. I saw 1 minute of the, not even 1 minute, maybe the beginning 1 minute of Nick Dixon talking about Enoch Powell. But I didn't see that. People are getting lazy, yeah. We need kids. Women need kids. We need love. Love that film. But hey, the battles in the head has to deal with all the changes, says Joe. Okay, I'm going to go in the other room, but I'm going to come back in a minute. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Death of Love. Maybe Death of Love mugs. Okay, Schaffer's World. I'm saying this. What I'm trying to do is say this is what's going on in my head. Okay, there's left versus right. There's globalism versus Britanism, Americanism, and then in comes 2 billion Muslims coming into Britain, and France and Germany coming in. How do you deal with it? Is everything going to be the same after we let 2 billion people come in? Is it going to be the same? I don't think it's going to be the same. So that's what I'm saying. Okay. What is the next thing we can talk about? Can we talk about something else? Talk about the South Coast. It turned nice here. It turned really nice here. And the producer's playing tennis. Why is he going on about women? Because the leftists are feminists, and it's all about women. It's all about industrialization. Okay? The right wing is trying to say, let's try to save what we can. That's why I'm only talking about women here. The main proponent of death of love in his own world is Lewis Schaffer, I'm afraid. Am I killing love? Do you think I'm killing love? I hope I'm not killing love. I mean, it sounds like I'm killing love. I could see how a large group of people could say, no, you're against everything that I want in life. I want to make my own money. I want to have sex with who I want to have sex with and love who I want to have sex with. Eddie, hey, Eddie. Eddie, hi, Lewis. Loved you in Wonder Woman, but loved you as Jor-El in Superman. I'm not that old. Thank you, Eddie. I'm not that old. You're killing your own chance of any love. Yeah, probably you're right. Probably you're right. I mean, but I think people need to know what the truth might be. You know, I mean, when left are fighting right in this country, and right is pretty much the same as left, who wins? Those guys win. Those guys win. Leanne asks, I agree to a degree, Simon, but is it really fair on women? Are we not? Are we not with more than that? And if men, are we not with more than that? If men are all the workers, it would lead to women being treated like they get treated in different cultures. Kind of, sort of, yeah. But who are those people who are saying we need mass immigration into this country from different cultures? You know? The biggest wrongs often unify us. Look at Ireland. Two sides that were never in agreement came together against a greater wrong. Their divisions became unimportant for a greater cause, Mark J. says. Yeah. I was in Wonder Woman 1984. Yes, I was. Supposedly it was a very bad movie, but I thought I was brilliant. I think you would make a good grumpy detective in a TV show like Kojak, Rianne. Is that me? Yeah, I think I would. I'm quite grumpy. I am quite grumpy. The point is, as Leanne says, is that we have a choice. You know, the left or the Tories are fighting for more socialism. When socialism lets in more people from other countries. We don't want more people from other countries. We want Britain. You know, I heard, there's like this towns down there on the south coast of England that have, all these hotels that are crammed full with immigrants. Colombo, yeah, could be, yeah. Shave the hair first, Lewis. Shave the hair first. Laugh out loud if doing, Kojak. I should be bald. I don't know. I don't know. I got a little bit of hair. Monk was heavenly. I never saw Monk, but that's sort of like one of those kind of programs. Well, I'm going to have to rewatch Wonder Woman. I don't think I'm in one little scene. Ron Jeremy was in Superman. Serious, yeah. I think the last fight we had, I was there too. It was about Ron Jeremy. Remember that fight? Get in the kitchen, woman. Why isn't my dinner on the table? Just saying, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But if the woman's not working and the man is working and bringing home the money, maybe the woman needs to do that. Otherwise, it is a form of slavery. The man is a slave. If the woman is not doing her share of looking after the kids, then it is slavery against the man. The man is a slave. I saw some videos on X of the call to prayer in Wales. Yes, very, very scary. Are they going to bring back the dinosaur hour on GB News? I don't think so, because it cost so much. It cost almost £1 million or something. I don't think they're going to bring it back. What else have you been in, Lewis? I was in The Duke. I've been in lots of, I don't know, there's very few movies they say I saw Lewis Schaffer in. I tried to stay. The thing about, you just go there. You're like furniture, and they move you around. So don't you don't want to be the star of the film, because if you're in the star of the film on day one, they're gonna say, okay, we don't need you. I've been in The Crown. Yeah, I was in The Crown. I've been in The Crown. When if you Google Prince Philip talking to Meet the Press or something like that, a program like that, it's not socialism. It's more to do with capitalism, cheap labor. Why do you think Trump wants to exempt illegals who work in agriculture and hospitality from deportation? Exactly. Trump is wrong. I didn't say I agree with everything that Trump says. Trump is wrong. We have to let the population go down and let people have kids and know if they have kids that they'll have a bright future. If people have children, they'll have a bright future, Lucy. When I read that he was doing that, I thought, this guy doesn't understand it. Okay. But was that a question? I shouldn't have read that, because that was a question for me, I assume. I don't know who that was a question for, Lucy. You don't want to mention my name because you don't want me to talk, because love is gone between you and me. What type of movie role would you like if you had a choice? Whenever they have me in tuxedos or suits, I look great because I've been wearing one of them for my entire life. I mean, do I look that good right now? A button-down shirt, I look all right, but I don't look as great as that. Mark J asks, you don't get any calls like to say, Lewis, we are doing a TV show or a movie. We think you'd fit in this role or that. Friends in the movie industry. No, I get no calls. Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, I'd like to be in Jeffrey Epstein. I think I could. I mean, I once looked like Jeffrey Epstein when I was a bit younger and a bit better looking, but then it just went downhill. I will say no more, as Lewis will think I'm a feminist. Heaven forbid. Yeah. Yeah, well, you could, yeah. Yeah, I'm against feminism. It's not helping the ladies' feminism, but, So the new James Bond then for Lewis. Yeah, because I wear a tuxedo. I don't know. I've been watching all the videos about James Bond. Quite interesting. They said that what's his name was actually a good actor. Did you hear this? What's the guy's name? The Australian fellow. Who's the Australian fellow in this? What is the guy's name? This guy. This guy. This guy. Can you see a picture of this guy? Yeah. Yeah, would like you to learn those lines. 1% industriousness. Yeah. I mean, I had to learn lines for everything I've had to learn lines for. I was in one play, and it was stressful. It was stressful. But I remembered most of them. James Bond's dad, like Sean Connery in Indiana Jones. I taught James all he knows lines. I don't think that's realistic. Sean Connery was the best James Bond. I thought so too, that he was the best James Bond. I thought he was the best James Bond. But then this guy, George Lazenby, I don't remember him being good or not, but I saw a video about him, and they said he was really good, and he was really good looking. George Lazenby, thank you, Mark the Ryerson. He was really good. Simon, if people, both men and women, respected each other, it would work well. Kids need their dads as well, especially boys and girls too. Otherwise, they grow up to be whatever it is. Kids need their dads, especially boys. And if they all work all the time, they do not get enough quality time with them. Yeah. Yeah, you want a woman who's at home saying, wait till your dad gets home. Yes, George did just one of those things, and they wanted that he did such a good job. They wanted to sign him for 6 more, and his agent said, "Don't sign for 6 more. You're going to be a big star. Don't sign, and £1 million. Don't sign for 6 more." And he didn't sign, and then they basically didn't. He didn't get another job in Hollywood. Lewis as the new Bond, Miss Moneypenny. Yeah, I would do that too. That would be funny. What are you doing working here? You should be having children. Yeah. Am I saying that to Miss Moneypenny? Or is Miss Moneypenny saying that to me? Thor I Azen. Thor Rose. Thor I is back. Okay. One of the days I'm going to get organized. Lewis Bickle. Yeah. That was the first Lewis, I think, that was the name of a thing in Taxi Driver. People now say Bond was an abuser. Well, he did say that. He did say, sometimes yeah. I mean, no. Lewis, you've been doing so well, but Thorosian. No, the guy wrote it differently on the thing. Mark Thorosian. That was an emotional Bond film. Women loved George in my family. Okay, it was more of a romantic movie than any other Bond spy films. Yeah. George Lazenby was arrogant, though. Well, that's what they said in the documentary, that he got a bit full of himself. Yeah, he was a bit arrogant. Yeah, whether that's true or not, people could say things about somebody. They could say, "Oh, that Lewis Schaffer, he was a real misogynist. I heard he was a misogynist." How am I a misogynist? I don't know. Cubby Broccoli done a crew party and put adverts out for everyone to see. George Lazenby got upset because he felt he should have had a personalized invite because he was the star. Yeah, maybe, because, yeah. Well, it's like me being invited to stuff. Anybody, you want someone to call you up and say, "You're going to the party," because you don't feel like you're wanted. Mark Thorosian. Yeah, I could understand him thinking that. I've thought that. I thought, I'm not going to go to the party. I'm not really wanted. And then they go, "Where were you? Why weren't you there? We were waiting for you." I used to love being picked up from school by my mom in the 1980s, says Adam Hudson. Then waiting for your dad to come home from school from work. I think they have destroyed that for today's children in most cases. Yeah. Yeah, the kids are too young. And then they wonder, like with me, I have no problem telling my kids what to do, basically, because I was there for like the first 5 years of their lives. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I was not there. I wish I'd been there, and even longer. Whenever I could pick them up from school, I would pick them up from school. Or if they wanted to stay over, if they could stay over. You know what I mean? And then your kids. A lot of people who are left their kids with childminders, they don't feel that close to their kids. Have you heard about the Mandela effect in Moonraker? Is that like saying we were all there, Russ? Is that what you mean? I saw that, Russ, says Shanks. The Cubby Broccoli replied to him, "You're only a star when the public call you a star." We don't know if that's true, but it could be true. It could be true. Maybe Cubby Broccoli was having a panic because he realized that he might lose the entire franchise, and the franchise was like amazing. Because of Octopus, he's saying wait, hold on a second. Joe says, "We had an incentive thing at work for the salesman, James Bond theme, and I was cast as Pussy Galore. Just saying." Well, there you go. Okay. Just saying. Did you take that as a compliment? Did we take that as an insult? I'm sad he missed the organized. I appreciated it. Who is this? Anyway. Mark J says he's the number 2 person. Joe is the number 1. Oh, because of the Octopussy thing. She was into girls and Bond took advantage, so it was frowned upon, wasn't it? It wasn't Sean's fault, but he was just acting the role. It was a different time back then. Remember, he was a working class Scottish guy. He was in the military. I don't know. I don't know. You can't. I don't know. What part did you play in Wonder Woman, Leanne? I played an advisor to the president. I'm good in a suit. I look good in a suit. I look good in a suit. Why isn't anybody calling me? Why aren't they calling me? Why aren't they? I could be more trouble than I'm worth. Look at the trouble I've gotten in the last hour talking about this. That's a lot of trouble. Is that not a lot of trouble? It's not a lot of trouble. I made it seem like I'm a misogynist, because I'm pointing out the problem with the country, with men and women and the world. One big universal circle of badness that's happening. A badness that's happening. The Mandela effect, says Russ, is about the mystery of the blonde lady who fell in love with Jaws. Most people remember her to have the braces, which was part of the joke. Now people watch it back, and she has no braces. Is that what the Mandela effect is? I'm not sure that that's what that is. Okay, I don't even remember that. What was that brain candy thing? That brain candy thing was a perfect example of everything that was happening. I was looking after the kids full time. I was so tired. Because I felt the kids needed love and attention, because I don't feel like I got enough love and attention from my manic depressive bipolar mother who was in a mental hospital. I didn't think I got enough love and attention. So they asked me to be in this brain candy where I had to repeat my jokes. And there were 14 episodes. This is a painful time. Has everyone listened to F What They Think by Strung Like Spotify? It's a great song. Okay, anyway, 30 years ago. Anyway, so is anybody interested in the brain candy thing, Shanks? So it was done by Baby Cow, which was Steve Coogan's company. And I did it, and I thought I did horribly, and I didn't do as good as I did because I couldn't keep my face. It's like during these shows when I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm so exhausted. But I kept my eyes open, and I thought I was really horrible. And I remember coming home, and my wife at the time asked me how did I do on the taping of this show. 14 episodes. This is the same day. We filmed it in a hair cutting salon in Marks and Spencer's. I forget what the name of the shop was. I don't even know if it still exists. But it was like an ancient hair cutting stop, and it was fantastic, really. And I said to her, I don't think I did very well. And she said to me, my wife, she said, "Oh, that's okay. You're brilliant, Lewis. And, move on and upwards. It's their fault if they've missed on how great you are." Did you hear that? She said, come lie into bed with me. I'll give you a cuddle. It was beautiful. And I didn't feel that bad. And then about a month or 2 months later, it was revealed that I had done an amazing job and that I was going to be in 13 of the 14 episodes. And they were really, really, really happy with me. So I was really glad I didn't worry, because she was really supportive of me. Yeah. Because women are great at that. They're really great at putting their arm around you and saying everything's going to be all right. Maybe that's what I want in life. I want someone to put my arm around me and to say everything's going to be all right. Or that maybe didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out, but the next thing you do, it'll work out. There's always an enormous crash after all the ranting. It seems we have reached that now. Yeah. So this is my story. Which episode? I was in 13 or 14 episodes of it. 13 or 14 episodes. Women, you want a women to do that. Stop tarring us all as mad BIT, whatever. Of course, that's not the true story, Joodles. That's not the true story. I came home, I said to her, I don't think I did that well. And she started screaming at me, saying, I don't want my kids to go to Peckham High School. They're going to be cut by a knife. I don't want my kids to go to Peckham High School. You better start doing something, Lewis, or our kids are going to have to go to Peckham High School. She was screaming at me because she was screaming at me. He was screaming at me. Okay. Well, women see a broken guy. Will most help you out? No. Women don't like to see men cry thing. They don't want that. They don't want to see that. And they don't want to see that. They want you to lie. Are you working? Yeah, I'm going out looking for a job. They don't want you sitting at home saying it's a bad economic. No, they want you to work hard. Be calm. Be calm. I'm commencing because it reminded me of the utter lies that are said about in this world. In this world. It was horrible blood pressure. It was a horrible, horrible thing. And then the truth came out is I was in 13 or 14 episodes and I had done a good job. I'd done a good job. And my kids did go to Peckham High School, Peckham, whatever it was. She didn't care either. Okay. I didn't want them to go to that school, but the mother sent them to that school. But I'm soft as you say that, Joodles. Joodles said she's soft as shite. I don't know. I'm sorry for ranting. It was just I just wanted to maybe make an artistic point. An artistic point. The mother of my I'm not going to talk about this. I should be loving. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it. Prefer a man to shed a tear, more human, more real. You think so? You think you want a man to do that? You think you want a man? You think you want a man to take care of kids? You don't. You don't. I've seen it myself. You don't. I don't have one though, so I'm safe. You don't have one. A man who sheds a tear. Did anyone else hear how many gardeners King Charles has lost because of his bad attitude? I haven't heard. Do a little research and find out. So what is it going to do? Can he be unkinged? No, he can't be unkinged. Unkinged. He cannot be unkinged. Okay, let's find out about that and let's call this show a show. Love you, laugh out loud, Russ. Okay. Yeah. I mean, men and women. Men can't feel feelings. Men have no feelings. That's like women have all feelings. Your kids turned out great. Yeah, they turned out great because I paid attention to them. I paid maybe too much attention to them. Maybe I paid so much attention to them that it killed my comedy career. I mean, you'd rather have good kids than bad kids who you're going to have to visit in the hospital. You find out that they murdered somebody. You don't want to know that. You want to have, that's so important. Your kids being important are better than any job anyone has, including men. Unfortunately, kids, I believe, do kids need their mothers? The proof is out there. Your job is daddy before everything else. I believe that completely. And a woman's job is mommy before everything else. So they should not leave a child with carers or in schools before the age of whatever, 7 or 10, whatever age it has to be. Yeah. I meant in a relationship, honest way, not about kids, but between two people who may not necessarily have them, being open. Yeah, being open. I mean, crying is not good. Hey, Stig, thanks for coming in. Good to see you there. Tuna64 is subscribed. Let's see how many. Can we, everybody, in the last phases of this show, if you don't hate me, please do not hate me because I said what I said. I'm not in favor of all of those things being instituted as once. Let's see what it says. Let's find out what it says. We have 930 subscribers. Oh, we've had such a huge gain of subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. We also have 32 watching. Thanks, Rose. Sorry. Thank you. And also we have 36 likes. Can we like more? Can we subscribe if you haven't subscribed? It's so important. When we hit 1,000, it's going to mean a huge difference to me. You'll be giving a misogynist a chance. Stig, I don't know whether you've subscribed or not, but I appreciate it. But you missed a lot. I've enjoyed talking like this. I hope you have. I hope people don't get mad at me and think that I hate women. And that might easily happen. Someone will write up that this guy, how can this guy have a YouTube channel when he's a misogynist? Don't put him on GB News again because he's a misogynist. Don't do this. You've missed everything, laugh out loud. Kids know if a dad loves them, Lewis. Like I said before, your boys know this. Yeah, they know it, but if they haven't been allowed to see the kids for one reason or another. Agreed. You agree with me, Joodles. Ray the mummy. But if there's not enough money from the man, Lewis, he has no choice but to try to do every bastard thing. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 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 The guy's got to make the money. He's got to do whatever he has to do. He's got to go into a coal mine. He's got to fight in a war. He's got to do something. He's got to do something. And the woman, too, has got to do something. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Yeah. Shall I finally go back on Facebook? Rarely do it. And push this. No, don't. What is this? What is this? But remember to like the show, guys, if you like it. It's not much of a show. It's just me and you. And I don't think there's any show that reads as many comments from people as much as I do. I mean, we should be in a relationship honest way. We should all try to be as honest as possible. Everything has consequences. The show, okay. I mean, no, because a lot of times if you push the show, someone will listen to it and go, I don't think that go. Maybe you should push the show. I don't want you to push the show. I don't want. Adam Hudson says, true about making extra money, but the rampant inflation has made it hard for even two incomes now. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's better to have no money. People don't need as much money as you think they need. It's like you don't need the money. You could live in poverty, but if you have kids, that's all you need. You don't go on a holiday. Okay, you don't go on a holiday, but you have enough food. Laughing at the idea misogyny will get you banned from YouTube. Will it? Yeah, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I mean, maybe it will. You say, what are you saying? Okay. It was just an idea to get subscribers and interest up. But if not, no worries at all. I mean, thank you. I really do appreciate that, Joe. My dad was very old-fashioned. Even at home, he would wear a suit and not casual down. Wow. Strict, too, on manners and behavior, very punctual. And work ethic was Dad. Well, those things can work for both men and women. Punctuality and work ethic, they can work for men and women. If people don't like it, they won't watch it, Lewis. I appreciate it. Lucy's quite angry at me. But she's angry at me. Also pissing myself at the dichotomy of LI. Of I need to make money from this show and don't tell anyone. They might realize what I'm really like. Yes, yeah, is that a dichotomy? Yeah. I mean, I want people to like me, but I don't, if you know someone who might like me, you could tell them, but I don't want you to tell someone who's not going to like me, Yeah, I'm very weird. I think it is weird. Maybe I'm not a complete extrovert. I don't want. It's like what happened with the thing about me being anti-gay. Okay, Jules is laughing. It won't. Maybe it won't work. I don't know. If this show is really good, it'll pick up on its own. If it's not good, it won't pick up on its own. That's what I have to say. It won't pick up on its own. I appreciate it. How do you know we like you, Lewis? Stop being picky. Yeah. I mean, like me enough to, recommend me. Basically. More stomach aches. We don't know. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what's going on? You put two arguments together, it works well. Yeah, I think. I'm making a point. Don't go changing, Lewis. You're authentic, a rare quality, Lewis. But the price of authenticity is people coming after you, the police coming at your door, the feminists saying he hates trans people, that kind of thing. Who wants that? Chin up, sad sack. All is well. No, Lucy's furious. And I like Lucy. I was going to use the word love, but that's a bit too extreme. I like Lucy. I don't want her to think, I don't know, but I understand why she is that way. Leanne says, I don't think I know anyone who would like you, which is why I like you. Yeah. I mean, I remember getting a girlfriend and she brought a guy to see the show and the guy hated me. And she thought this guy's a loser. I mean, she probably would have been better off staying with him. You know, I don't know anybody who would like me either. I watch my comedy shows and I think this is not funny. I watch these shows. What is this show? It's an absolute nothingness. It's one old guy, it's an old geezer talking shite. I mean, Lewis, you are the last of the great comedic New York Jews. USA needs to make Jews funny again. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. Jews are. We will be funny. We'll figure out how to make money doing it. We will. I never did. Basically, I mean, I came a bit late. Now anti-Semitism has come back. Basically. It's somethingness, Joe says. Yeah, I wrote down this. It's a something. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's how long this show is. Jews need to make Jews funny again. Well, how do you? Yeah, I guess we do. I mean, but people don't even use the word. They're using the word Jews now. They call them Israelis or IDF or whatever it is. Where is Sad Sack from? It used to be the name of a character or a stuffed toy. It was Sad Sack is from a comic book, right? Let's look where Sad Sack is from. It's from the Raggy Dolls. Is it from that? Let's look what Sad Sack is from. Sad Sack. Oh yeah, Sad Sack Raggy Dolls. Look at that. Yellow, brown. I don't know if I'm even allowed to show this on the air. Am I allowed to show this? All. Those are the images. An example of a design that deemed too expensive to mass produce. His appearance is somewhat different from the others. Raggy Doll, Sad Sack. What is the story of... I don't know what that means. Maybe Joodles will explain it to us. Okay. A children's show in the UK called Raggy Dolls. Yeah, I used to watch Play School on TV. It was a doll, laugh out loud. That's why we all like each other in this cult. Sorry to be chat. Thank you, Mark the Ryerson. Yeah, maybe, because we have... Do you know what? So, like, what happened is, when I was doing my free show in London, longest running comedy show in London maybe ever, it was like 6-7 years of just doing every single night, 3-4 nights of the week. It was unbelievable. I won't read You Think If You're Being Mean. Joodles. What did Joodles say? Sad Sack has as much hair as you, Lewis. Sorry, you're being mean. And so people would come to show him blind dates because they were poor young kids. It wasn't like now where everybody is 65 years old or 55 or 45. It was back then. All the people who used to watch me were really young. They were 22, 25. They were really young. And they would come to the show together, or a guy would bring a girl, and if the girl liked it, the guy knew this was the right girl. Because my shows were not classical comedy shows. So that's what I liked about this shows. Okay, we're gonna end in a couple of minutes. Thank you guys for coming in. I think this is, I don't know if this has been one of the best shows, but it's definitely kept me entertained. Okay. But I appreciate it. Thorosian, not Thorisian, Thorosian. So I'm not saying this has been a good show, but it's kept me entertained. And like my friend Russ says, he says, only do it if you enjoy it. Only do it if you enjoy it. That's the most important thing. Only do it if you enjoy it. If you're doing it because you think, oh, I got to be there for Lewis, he's gonna have come anyway. Lewis loves women. I just sprayed it on my local underpass. It's not graffiti, it's art, and it's true. I think I do love women. I do. I hope you don't think that I love women. Would I stop a woman from working? No. I mean, but do I see the problems that feminism has? I remember some things like when Charlie crosses the road, cat commercials, or a show, that boy talking cat, Charlie says. What does that mean? Anyway, okay. So talk amongst yourselves. I love women. Call me, ladies. Ladies, any takers? Call me. Call me. Okay. Lewis needs a wife to enjoy life. I do. You need a wife. I need a wife. I've been really lonely. I thought I fell in love with that woman and she dumped me. Lewis Schaffer, 2.5 hours of entertainment. Thank you, Simon. If you guys want to go to Patreon and send me a contribution, if that doesn't work, message me and say, I don't know, please do something. That's been our show. So I'm going to go on to the end stream thing. It'll say, come in and listen tomorrow. And I want to be loved by women. It's really painful when women don't love me. It's painful. Men want to be loved by women. And to hear that men hate women, that's such a load of garbage. It's a load of garbage. Or to even hear that women hate men, that's also a load. Okay? You argue with yourself, Lewis. The show is great. Yeah, that's one of the things. 930 subscribers, Shanks. And every one of you, I really appreciate it. That's a lot of subscribers for this show. Okay, I'm saying goodbye. Say goodbye underneath. Thank you, Joe, Shanks, Joodles, Susan, good to see you, Kerry, Russ, Leanne, Ludd. Thank you, FM Ghost. Thank you, Adam Hudson, good to see you. Thank you, Mark J. Thank you for writing in. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Joodles. Thank you, who else? Thank you, everybody. I maybe forgot a few of the names, but I appreciate all the people here. I'm going to have some steak. Paul Morris, thank you. He's been to the show. Ask Paul about those shows that we did. He'd come quite often. It was brilliant. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Hugh Jarrett. Okay. I'm now putting you on end stream. Everybody,